Our YP4H Q3 Program Highlights webinar. My name is Linda Bauer, and I'm a Senior Client Success Manager at Virgin Pulse, and I'm joined today by Heather Preston, Wellness Coordinator at YP4H. We also have a couple of other colleagues on the line to help answer your questions in the chat. So Tara Anderson, Wellness Coordinator for YP4H, and Brenna Maloney, Client Success Manager at Virgin Pulse. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So today we wanted to share with you a new feature specifically within Virgin Pulse that's called My Care Checklist. We're also going to highlight a couple of new Virgin Pulse points opportunities that were introduced with the start of this quarter, so at the beginning of July. Heather will do an exciting preview of two upcoming challenges this fall. Hit the Road with the Buckeyes, which is a challenge I'm sure most, if not all of you, are familiar with, as it's a long-running challenge at Ohio State, and a new challenge this year called Take a Lap. Okay, so first up, the new feature that I just mentioned, My Care Checklist. So My Care Checklist, again, is a new feature, and it allows you to keep track of your health checkups all in one place. And we'll talk about the details of how the checklist works on the next slide. From a points perspective, you have the ability to earn 1,000 points per year for completing 3 preventive care activities on your checklist. So things like your annual physical or your dental exam, etc. And all you need to do is enter the dates for the activities on your checklist that you've done. So it is a self-report within that feature, and also you'll earn points or get credit for those exams that you are in compliance with as well. So and those compliance timeframes are noted in the checklist. So as we all know, there are certain preventive screenings that you should be getting every year, other preventive screenings that it's recommended that you get maybe every 3 years. So if you do need a certain exam once per year, you will receive credit for that exam as long as the date is within the past year. So again, we have just rolled this out at Ohio State, but even if, for instance, you enter an exam date, say of December 1st, 2020, that's not within the current program year for OSU, but that's okay. You will get credit for that particular exam. You can also choose to add a health situations checklist. So this is kind of part 2 of the My Care Checklist functionality. And that's an option if you're managing a chronic condition. For instance, if you have diabetes, for instance, you can choose to add that particular checklist. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. This new feature is available both on the web and on the mobile app, and it is located under the health menu. So on the web platform, if you those tabs at the top of the page, one of them is titled Health. Just click that, and you will see that it will be in the drop down that populates. And similarly, on the mobile app, the menu that runs across the bottom of the mobile app, there is one menu option there called Health. And if you click that, you'll see My Care Checklist is an option there as well. And then lastly, but don't want to understate the importance of this as well from a privacy standpoint, none of your information is shared with Ohio State. So if you're entering that you did your eye exam, your dental exam, whatever it is that you're entering within My Care Checklist is not shared with Ohio State. It really is meant to be a tool for you to keep track, help you keep track of those types of things that you should be getting done, particularly obviously as we're dealing in now a year and a half of this pandemic. Certainly a lot of folks have been delaying routine care, and sometimes for good reason, right? I mean, last spring, summer, et cetera, it was difficult to get routine care appointments, but this is really just a nice reminder of, hey, I do need to go in and get my eye exam done or my mammogram done, et cetera. And this is a nice place to keep track of all of that. Okay, with that, let's jump into kind of part 1 of the overall My Care Checklist, which is the preventive care checklist. As I mentioned, there's the preventive care checklist and there's the health situations checklist. So the preventive care checklist will automatically appear for everyone. So if you go into your Virgin Pulse platform right now, navigate to My Care Checklist, you will see a checklist there that is populated for you. And it is populated based on your demographics, your age, whether you're male, female. So everyone's checklist will look a little different. As you can imagine, a male age 25 has a very, a different checklist than a female age 55 in terms of what they need to be doing to be keeping up with their health from a preventive screening standpoint. And also again, just to the second bullet here on the slide, the cadences of those exams may vary a little bit as well based on, again, age, male, female, et cetera. So just knowing that your checklist may look a little bit different than others. In the screenshot here, you can see that this is just a sample of what a preventive checklist could look like, right? So this person has an eye exam, a health checkup, dental checkup, flu shot. You can see that once you do enter dates for each of the activities, you will see a green check mark here, and it will give you a date of when you're up to date till, right? So it's a nice reminder of, you're up to date until November 5th, 2021. Certainly once you're approaching November 5th, 2021, it'll give you a little bit of a warning to say, hey, this exam is coming up soon. And then once you're past November 5th, 2021, it will say, hey, you're overdue for this exam. Be sure to schedule it with your provider. And then when you click an exam, you can see here that eye exam is clicked on the right-hand side, tells you a little bit about that particular exam, and it asks you to enter in your appointment date. So once you do enter in that appointment date, you would get credit, you would get that green check mark for that particular exam. And then once you have 3 check marks, you'll earn the 1,000 points for those exams. All right, so moving on now to the health situations portion of the checklist. So this particular portion of the overall checklist is actually, not automatically pre-populated for you. Based on what you, enter in health check, it may make a suggestion. It may say, hey, it looks like you may have diabetes, right? Because you told us in, your personal health and well-being assessment that you are managing diabetes. So it may say, would you like to populate a diabetes checklist? And you can see that here on the right-hand side. So this is an example of what that diabetes checklist does look like. And again, this keeps you on track with specific conditions that you may be managing. Certainly, if you are managing a chronic condition, there's additional things in addition to your overall preventive screenings that you need to be watching out for. One thing to note here: the activities within the health situations checklist do not count towards the 3 activities for 1,000 points. So that is specific to the preventive screenings checklist. And one other thing to note before we jump to the next slide is that the recommendations within My Care Checklist, both the health situations checklist, but also the preventive care checklist, are general recommendations, based on overall recommendations, not necessarily your specific health situation. So I don't want to underestimate the importance of making sure that, again, you are going to see your doctor on a regular basis. And certainly if your doctor recognizes that you may need a mammogram at a different age, or you may need a mammogram more frequently than the general public, certainly that's the advice that you should be taking. Obviously your doctor knows you best, knows your family history, has a lot more information than this checklist does. So again, as you are thinking about kind of which advice to follow, this is really more general guidance and a reminder. It truly is your physician that you should be listening to when it comes to frequency, et cetera, of these particular screenings. So with that, let's move over to setting reminders within My Care Checklist. And this is a nice feature. And those of you who are, a strong user or Virgin Pulse users on a daily basis may have some push notifications enabled. There are a number of different push notifications that can be enabled if you're a user of our mobile app. And there are 2 specific push notifications that can be enabled for My Care Checklist. So you can see here just an example of one here on the right. You have a new healthcare activity on your checklist. And there's also a push notification that will alert you if you have a preventive screening that is due or overdue, much like I mentioned just a minute or so ago. If you'd like to be kind of proactively notified of when that happens, you can go ahead and in the area of the app under your profile and settings, you can toggle on that you would like these particular reminders to be on. They will not be on by default, but again, another option, a nice reminder if you'd like to set those. Okay, moving on to new points opportunities for Q3. I do have, again, the 3 preventive activities within my care checklist here noted right here at the top, which we just spoke about. That is an annual points opportunity. So you can do that annually for 1,000 points. A couple of new points opportunities with regard to shout outs. So hopefully most of you on the line have discovered our new shout out functionality, which we rolled out in January. We did not have points associated with shout outs previously, but as of July 1st, did build that into the program as well. So if you give a shout out, you can earn 100 points. And if you receive a shout out, you can give 100 points. This is a kind of a one time, so you only earn points for the first shout out or that you give or receive in a certain month. That doesn't mean that you can't give a second shout out or a third shout out. We certainly don't want to discourage you from giving more shout outs in a month, but in terms of the points activities, it is capped at once per month. And then the last two here as well, the 20-day triple tracker. It's a little bit of a tongue twister to say, but these will replace the 7,000 and 10,000 steps in a month for 20 days. So I think, as probably so many of you are familiar with, if you do take 7,000 steps for 20 days in a month, you get what we call kind of a trophy, bonus points, right? So you would earn 500 points, or if you take those 10,000 steps 20 days in a month, you would earn that 2,000 points. So that kind of is still in effect. These are more enhanced in terms of you can take the 7,000 steps or do 15 active minutes or do 15 workout minutes. So it's just more expansive. Some of the fitness devices that Virgin Pulse syncs up with, provide us data more so in workout minutes or active minutes as opposed to just steps. So this is really a broader definition of those previous 7,000 and 10,000 rewardable actions within the program. So again, nice enhancement there for those who are using those other types of fitness devices. Okay, so I will turn it over to Heather now to give us a preview of the upcoming challenges.
Yeah, thanks, Linda. So as Linda mentioned, hopefully most of you have heard about our signature walking challenge, Hit the Road with the Buckeyes. That's a team walking challenge where we virtually follow the football team to their away Big Ten conference games. So if anyone on the line is a Buckeyes football fan, you would know that our first away conference game is actually really early this year. We play at Minnesota on September 2nd. So what we decided to do was to break it up into 2 challenges and host a Take a Lap mini challenge. It's kind of like a spirit event, get us all excited about football season. And that will be the week of that first game. So from August 30th to September 5th, we have a 1-week pre-registration. So on August 23rd, you can start signing up. For this challenge, teams will be auto-assigned based on the unit and department, whatever is tagged on the eligibility file. So you're basically just going to compete with folks that are in your area. Again, it's just a warm-up challenge to get people excited, but we're going to have engagement opportunities within the challenge chat board. It'll be both chat engagements and photo submissions, and we're going to do 20 winners for $10 Pulse Cash. So just, something fun to get us excited. And then the challenge itself will start on September 27th. The next conference away game isn't until October 2nd. So there's a big gap there. That's why we decided to split it up. And it goes through November 28th. So we'll do, again, a 1-week pre-registration starting on September 20th. Every year for Hit the Road, we do teams of 10. So you can set your own teams. And on our challenge webpage, there will be a link to a different webinar that Linda had recorded that basically walks you through different team challenges and how to. So if you've never captained a team before, or know how to set it up, there is a challenge webinar specifically for that. This challenge will have 5,000 points available. We'll do weekly drawings for $25 Pulse Cash, and there will be a grand prize drawing for $50 Pulse Cash at the end of the challenge. So it's always really fun. I think people are clamoring for some normalcy, and having Buckeye football back will kind of give us some of that excitement for our fall walking challenge. So at the bottom there, you can see where full challenge details will be posted as they come in. It's at our website, and there's on the top bar, we have a challenges drop down. I do see that there's a question in there. Is there still the option to join an establishing? Absolutely, Kim. So when you go to, and this is for Hit the Road, because like I said, Take a Lap teams will be auto decided based on the eligibility file. But for Hit the Road, when you go in, you'll always have the option to either create or join a team. And if you don't want to create a team, you can just join one of the teams that have open spots. So yep, that will always be an option. And happy to answer other questions, but I'm just going to go over the support slide. So if you do need support from Virgin Pulse, there's a couple ways you can get in touch with them. You can give them a call, you can send them an email, or you can submit a help ticket on their website. For questions related to YP4H, you can find most of those answers on our website at yp4h.osu.edu. Pass it over to Caroline.
All right, and this is just a slide about our health coaching. So as an OSU health plan member, you have access to free personal health coaching. We have a great team of 7 different health coaches. You can see the picture there, and a lot of different specialties. So a great resource there, and each health coach will work with you to develop an action plan and personalized strategies to meet your specific health needs. So if you're interested in signing up for health coaching, please feel free to reach out via our email or the phone number on the screen.
Okay, well, with that, that's all we had formally prepared.